what should organisations prepare for in terms of employee expectations of the hybrid work environment? Because there's so much discussion around hybrid work at the moment and return to office and everything else. I'd love to hear, what advice you give to organisations to prepare for that.
Yeah, so I think the most important thing is that experimentation and the listening element. So what we've been doing in ServiceNow is lots of pulse surveys, as I say, to kind of understand what's working for people. But also we're trying to do more kind of listening sort of as part of the process. So for instance, if it was an onboarding process, getting that feedback straight away around how that onboarding experience was on day one, but also then how was it kind of a week later, how was it a month later, and then starting to collate that and make sure that, as I say, we're driving the actions and we're continuously improving. So nobody knows what it looks like, as you say, in the next kind of 3 months, let alone 3 years. So all we can do is make sure that we've got that regular connection with our employees and that we are responding to that really as well. And don't be frightened, I guess, to kind of make some changes and experiment a little bit. I think the other important point is, coming back to even the technology stack, is having the kind of modularity, if you like, in that technology stack, so that it makes it very easy to plug in, for example, new channels in order to meet people where they are. So today, there's a lot of focus around meeting people in channels like Microsoft Teams, because Microsoft Teams really has become so much like digital workplace for many of us over the last sort of 18 months, 2 years. But actually it's mobile phones, it may be smartwatches, it may be Alexas, who knows kind of what that kind of experience layer for those different employees is going to be. So if you can kind of almost separate that kind of business logic from that presentation layer, it makes it very easy to then expose it out into whatever that channel of your choice is, which helps, I think, with future-proofing a lot of the employee experience as well.
And, before we sort of turn to how ServiceNow is approaching this, now that the employee experience genie is out of the lamp, so to speak, there's no really, and organisations have invested in more of that, and thankfully they have during the pandemic. There's no going back now, is there? This is a juggernaut that's going to carry on. Yeah,
I mean, absolutely. And let's face it, if you don't invest in employee experience, there's plenty of organisations that will. And I think particularly the kind of the new generations that are coming into the workplace, they expect that consumer grade experience, but they also expect to be well looked after from a human centric way. I remember when I had lots of graduates that worked for me previously, it was really important for them to have managers that not only enabled them to be successful at work, but actually asked them, for instance, about how they were feeling and what they did at the weekend and what they were interested in, and help them bring some of that interest into some of the work that they were doing. So, for example, if they were really interested in the environment, could we put them on an engagement that enabled them to help a customer perhaps with their ESG policy, which meant it was aligning with their personal values as well. So it is very much got to be that, as I say, that broader, more holistic approach to employee experience as well.
In this series, we will be speaking to a range of senior leaders who are pushing a data-driven and digital HR agenda. Make sure that you subscribe via your podcast app of choice and also via our YouTube channel for free and regular interviews with the digital HR leaders of the future.